Charming day it has been, Miss Fairfax.
Pray, don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Gordon. Whenever people talk to me about the weather, I always think like certain that they mean something else. And that makes me so nervous.
I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I'm never wrong.
And I would like to be allowed to take advantage of Lady Bracknell.
I would hardly advise you to do so. Mama has a way to come inside into the room, and I have always had to speak to her about.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any girl I've never met since I met you.
Yes, I'm quite aware of the fact. And I wish that in public, at any rate, you have been more demonstrative. For me, you have always had an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideas. The fact is constantly mentioned in the more expensive monthly magazines and has reached the provincial pulpits, I am told. My idea has always been to love someone with the name of Ernest. This name has something that inspires me absolute confidence. The moment Algernon first mentioned to me that he has a friend called Ernest, I knew I was destined to love you.
So, you really love me, Gwendoline?
Passionately.
Darling, you don't know how happy you've made me.
My own Ernest.
But, do you mean to say you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Ernest?
I'm glad your name is Ernest.
Of course it is. But supposing it wasn't. Don't you mean to say you couldn't love me then?
That is clearly a metaphysical speculation, and like most metaphysical speculation, has very little reference of the actual facts of real life as we know them.
Yes. Personally, darling, to speak quite candidly, I don't much care about the name of Ernest. I don't think the name suits me at all.
It suits you perfectly. It's a divine name. It has music and sound. It produces vibrations.
Oh, really, Gwendoline? I think there are much more of a nicer name. I think Jack, for instance, a charming name.
Jack? There is very little music in the name of Jack, if any at all, indeed. It has no thrill. It produces no vibrations. I have known several Jacks, and all of them, without exception, were more than usually plain. Besides, Jack is a notorious domestic for John, and I pity any woman who is married with a man called John. She will never be allowed to feel the entrancing pleasure of a single moment's solitude. The only really safe name is Ernest.
I must get Cousteau at once. I mean, we must get married at once. There's no time to be lost.
Married, Mr. Worthing?
Yes, surely. You know that I love you. And you're ready to believe you are not in it for me.
I adore you. But you haven't proposed to me yet. Nothing has been said about marriage. The subject has not even been touched on.
Well, may I propose to you now?
I think it will be a valuable opportunity. And to spare you any possible disappointment, I think it's only fair to tell you quite frankly beforehand that I'm fully determined to accept you.
Gwendoline!
Yes, Mr. Worthing, what do you want to say to me?
I know what that's to you.
But you didn't say it.
Gwendoline!
opinions on how to propose.
My own one. I've never loved any girl in the world but you.
Yeah, but men often do it for practice. I know my brother does. All my girlfriends tell me so. Oh. What wonderful blue eyes you have. They are so blue. I hope you will always look at me like that. Especially when there are other people present.
Miss Gordon! Right, after this semi-recumbent posture. It is most indecorous.
Mama, I must beg you to retire. Besides, Mr. Gorsing hasn't finished yet.
Finished what, may I ask?
I am engaged to Mr. Gorsing, Mama.
Pardon me, Gwendolyn, you are not engaged to anyone. When you do become engaged to someone, I or your father, should his health permit him, will inform you of the fact. An engagement should come on a young girl as a surprise, pleasant or unpleasant as the case may be. But it is hardly a matter she could be allowed to arrange for herself. And now I have some questions to put to you, Mr. Worthing. While I am making these inquiries, you will wait for me below in the carriage, Gwendolyn.
Mama.
In the carriage, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, in the carriage. Mr. Worthing, you may take a seat.
Thank you, Lady Bucknell. I prefer standing.
I feel bound to inform you that you are not on my list of eligible young men, although I do have the same list as the dear Duchess of Bolton has. We work together, in fact. However, I am quite ready to enter your name should your answers be what a truly affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit I smoke.
I am glad to hear it. A man should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
29.
A very good age to be married at. I have always been of the opinion that a man who desires to get married should know either everything or nothing. Which do you know?
Well, I know nothing, really.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in England, at any rate, it produces no effect whatsoever. If it did, it would prove a serious danger to the upper classes, and probably lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square. What is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In land or in investments?
Investment, chiefly.
That is satisfactory. What between the duties expected of one during one's life and the duties exacted from one after one's death, land has ceased to be either a profit or a pleasure. It gives one status and then prevents one from keeping it up. That is all that can be said about land.
Well, I own a country house with some land attached to it. Around 1,500 acres, I believe. But I don't really depend on it for my real income. In fact, as far as I can make out, the poachers are the only people making something out of it.
A country house. How many bedrooms? But that can be worked out later on. You have a townhouse, I hope. A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolyn could hardly be expected to reside in the country.
Well, yes, I own a townhouse in Belgrade Square. But it's led to the year to Lady Bloxham. But I can get it back whenever I want, at 6 months' notice.
Lady Bloxham. I don't know her.
Well, she goes about very little. She's a lady considerably advanced.
Ah, nowadays that is no guarantee of respectability of character. What number in Belgrade Square?
149.
Oh. The unfashionable side. I thought there was something. However, that can easily be altered.
What do you mean? The fashion or the style?
Both, I presume, if necessary. What are your politics?
Well, I have none. I'm a liberal unionist.
Ah, they count as Tories. They dine with us. Or they come in the evening at any rate. And now to minor matters. Are your parents living?
Well, I've lost both my parents.
Both? That sounds like carelessness. Who is your father? He was evidently a man of some wealth. born into what the radical papers call the purple of commerce, or did he rise from the ranks of the aristocracy?
Well, I'm afraid I really don't know. In fact, I told you I've lost my parents. But it should be nearer the truth to say that my parents lost me. When, in fact, I was found.
Found?
Yes. The late Mr. Thomas Roju, an old gentleman from every kind of charitable dispension, found me. Because he happened to have, at this time, a first-class ticket to Worthing. And he gave me the name of Worthing. Worthing is in Sussex. It's a seaside resort.
And where did this charitable gentleman who had a first-class ticket for this seaside resort find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag?
Yeah, a handbag, somewhat large, black leather, with 2 handles attached to it. Well, ordinary handbag, in fact.
And in what locality did this Mr. James or Thomas Cardew come across this ordinary handbag?
In the cloakroom of Victoria Station. It was given to reason by mistake.
The cloakroom of Victoria Station?
Yes, the bottom line.
The line is immaterial. Mr. Wedding, I confess I find myself somewhat bewildered by what you've just told me. To be born, or at any rate bred, in a handbag seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life that remind one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution, and I presume you know what that unfortunate movement led to. As for the particular locality in which the handbag was found, the cloakroom at a railway station might serve to cover some small indiscretion, has probably indeed been used for that purpose before now. But it can hardly be regarded as an assured basis for a recognised position in good society.
Lady Bucknell, may I ask you what you advise me to do so? I would hardly say I will do everything I can for greater human happiness.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Wedding, to try and acquire some relations at once, and to make a definite effort to produce at any rate one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
Well, I don't know how I can possibly manage to do that, but I can produce a handbag at any time. It's in my home, in my dressing room. I really think that would satisfy you.
Me, sir? What has it to do with me? You can hardly imagine that I and Lord Bracknell would allow our only daughter, a girl raised with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parcel. Good morning, Mr. Wedding.
Good morning.